Coming up on Look Today, well, an open house for the newly proposed Saratoga City Charter was held today at the Saratoga City Center, and we were there. And thousands marched in Memorial Day parades in honor of those who sacrificed for our country. More on that coming up. And we've got continuing coverage of the Downtown Revitalization Initiative in Glens Falls. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Chad Rabinovitz. He's the artistic producing director, Adirondack Theater Festival in Glens Falls. And we're joined by Jack McCarthy. He's artistic administrator intern. They're here to talk about the very exciting upcoming theater season. And I sit down with Doug Irish. Now, he's a councilman, Queensbury, Ward 3, and he's here to talk about the Watershed Coalition issue. Now, this is part 2 of my interview with him. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, an open house for the newly proposed Saratoga Springs City Charter was held today at the Saratoga City Center. Now, the open house showcased the final draft of the proposed charter that will be voted on by the public in November. Now, it was split into different sections so the public could gather specific information about the proposal. While we were at the open house today, we spoke to Gordon Boyd. He's a member of the Charter Review Commission about the importance of this discussion.
We set this open house up in a way where people could come when it was convenient for them. They could use their own curiosity to explore the particular issues, whether it's finance or elections or what the transition process might be, what the powers of the city council or the city manager would be, all of those different specialties. We will have members of the commission ready to talk to people about at various information stations that are around the room here.
Very thorough job. We also spoke to Barb Thomas. She's another member of the commission about some of the key differences between this proposal and the current one.
This charter is exciting because it separates the legislative from the administrative functions of the city, and it has a lot of new features that we think will be really important for the city. So, just some of them that we have strengthened financial procedures.
Wow. And by the way, we'll have updates on this tomorrow because we're going to be speaking to members of Success. Now, that's a group of individuals who opposed any change in the Saratoga form of government. In other news, well, during Memorial Day weekend, many people marched in memory of those who sacrificed for our country. Now, in downtown Saratoga Springs, despite the rain, Broadway was alive with marching bands, military veterans, local representatives, and many others. They marched in honor of memory of all who sacrificed for our country. Switching from news to weather. Today saw rain with overcast skies, and you can expect more rain tomorrow. Let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thanks, Jesse. Here's a look at the first look weather. Currently, we have a bunch of fronts sitting right over eastern New York. That's going to provide a focal point for scattered showers and storms tonight. Some could produce severe weather with damaging winds and hail being the primary threats. Looking at 55 in Scranton, 56 Albany and New York. And we're also looking at 51 degrees out in Buffalo. Looking at the overnight lows, temperatures mainly in the 50s. Across much of the area, so we could see some severe storms. 56 degrees the overnight low at that south wind at about 10 miles per hour. Looking at 72 degrees for the daytime on Wednesday. We could still see a few severe storms with damaging winds and hail be the main threats. And then we look at the extended outlook, actually out the door. Lower 60s, a wet and stormy start. And then we move on in our forecast. Temperatures rising to the lower 70s on Wednesday and then lower 70s again, but this time under mostly sunny skies on Thursday. And then we'll remain in the lower 70s for Friday through Sunday with the best chance of rain occurring on Friday at 50%. Otherwise, partly sunny skies. Well, that's a look at the first look weather. Now I'll send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Clarence. Back to the news. We've got continuing coverage of the Downtown Revitalization Initiative in Glens Falls. A portion of the $10 million granted to the city will be allocated to SUNY Adirondack programs. Now, this will go towards expanding their growing culinary arts. A new campus is proposed in downtown Glens Falls. Well, we spoke to Dr. Christine Duffy. She's the president of SUNY Adirondack about this.
Well, we're certainly grateful for the governor's support in being able to fund part of our project, and right now we're working on kind of the best location and the terms. We won't be building, we would be leasing a space to be able to expand our culinary program and help train the workforce.
Very exciting news for Glens Falls. Now, another public meeting on the Revitalization Initiative will be held this Thursday, and we will have coverage of that. Up next, I sit down with Chad Rabinovitz. He's the artistic producing director of the Adirondack Theater Festival in Glens Falls. We're joined by Jack McCarthy. He's artistic administrator intern, and they're here to talk about the very exciting upcoming season. Plus, I also sit down with Doug Irish. He's a councilman for Queensbury, Ward 3. He's here to talk about the Watershed Coalition issue. This is part 2 of my interview with him. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got some lookouts. First, thank you for letting us play hooky on Friday. I hope you all had a great weekend. Despite some inclement weather, it was a wonderful weekend. It's Tuesday, and we have to look ahead for the week. Saratoga Hospital will be in. Amy Ramos coming in, talk about a fundraiser. May and Joanne Yepsen will be coming in, give us an update on a host of things. Jonathan Newell will be in, give us an update on the Strand Theater in Hudson Falls and the summer concert series in Lake George. And a reminder that June is Lyme Disease Awareness Month, and we will be having some reporting on that. And last but not least, when I'm out and about, I always like to give a look out to people who stop me. And for some reason, when I'm in Hannaford in Glens Falls, there I get stopped a lot. And lo and behold, I'm on the checkout line, and the woman behind me says, "I know you. You're Look TV. I watch you every night." Her name is Marilyn. So I want to give the look out to Marilyn. Her family, by the way, own the Rain Tree Restaurant. Wonderful family-owned restaurant between Lake George Village and Bolton Landing on the west side of the lake, on the Lake Road there, between Lake George Village and Bolton Landing, the Rain Tree. So thank you, Marilyn, for watching. Okay, tonight on Look TV, Queensbury Town Board meeting. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.